Hello everyone, and welcome to Eat Well with Azar. Making healthy food choices can help to prevent and heal wide range of health issues. Mother Nature has provided us with all the nutrients and medications we need to stay healthy. We just have to know them and consume them daily. In order to stay healthy, we must include protein, carbohydrate, fat, and fiber in our daily diet. Protein builds cell structure, especially outer layer of cells. Carbohydrate help in functioning of body organs and brain and nervous system. Fats feeds brain cells and control brain processes. Fiber lowers cholesterol level, promote weight loss, prevent constipation, and reduces the risk of heart disease. Eating healthy boosts our immune system and helps our body to fight diseases and illnesses instead of working hard to remove the effect and side effects of unhealthy meals. In our program today, we are not only going to talk about healing power of food and how to prevent illnesses and diseases, but we suggest specific food ingredients that may help to promote and improve all your health issue concerns. My guest today is Dr. Robin Norris. Dr. Norris is licensed marriage and family therapist and founder of Windward Optimal Health. She specializes in family counseling, anxiety and depression, weight management, and chronic illnesses. Thank you for being with us today, Dr. Norris.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. What interests you as a family therapist to talk about food? What does it have to do with food?
Well, food brings us together. It brings us together as families, it brings us together as friends, and it's part of our day-to-day life. And so there's an absolute magical piece that happens with food.
That's nice to know.
It can enhance our interactions, it enhances our bonding, and it's just, the one spot that has to happen. And so to be able to bring our families together and friends together, that's what fascinates me about food.
That's great. Well, how do you conceptualize the food as a fuel and food as a medicine?
Well, I think that we don't give enough credence to food as a fuel, in the sense that so often people are thinking about food as good food or bad food. And I would rather people start thinking about food as fuel. We're surviving our day, but we're not necessarily thriving in our day. And so when you think of it in terms of bad, there's a bit of shame to it, there's a bit of guilt to it. And we don't feel good when we're feeling guilty or shameful that we didn't eat the right thing. But if we think about it in terms of wanting our body to be the ultimate machine, like a race car or a rocket ship, then we're gonna get so excited about eating and we're gonna make some different choices. And so that's where I'd rather people not think about food as being bad or good, but just the kind of fuel we're putting in our systems.
Basically, you're saying food is not bad, it's people just make a bad choice.
Not even so much bad choices, just different choices. And I think choices that don't always come from the most information that they can have about their bodies and themselves. And so I would just encourage them to just make different choices and start learning about the food part of the medicine. More and more frequently, people are coming in on all sorts of prescription medications, not realizing that changes in diet, even small ones, and changes in how they sleep can actually kind of wean them off medications or make their immune system be boosted and feel better. So,
in your professional experience, what kind of worries people have about cooking? What is their fears?
Right.
What are the fears? I have seen people, even hard for them to crack an egg.
Right. There's a lot of fears because, so often we're putting in our boxed meals in the kitchen, and then after the kitchen we go off to restaurants, and we don't really know how to cook. We know maybe what we might like to eat, but we don't know how to do that process. And so I think there's a fear about, I'm gonna buy the wrong things, or if I get the things home, now what do I do with them? I don't know how to prepare them. There's also the fear of not everybody in my family is gonna like this. And what do I do about the timing? I don't have time to cook. I don't have time to clean the rest of the mess that I've made in my kitchen. So I think that that's what stops people from making the best possible choices for their bodies, is that fear is in them to want to try something different, because it's just going to be so time consuming.
So what do you do with these people to don't fear as much about cooking and eating? Do you have any examples?
Yeah, no, we find where their baseline of being stuck is. And so if it's cooking an omelet, but their fear is that they don't know how to get an eggshell out of an egg bowl, then that's what they start with, is like, how many eggs can we crack, and what happens if we get an eggshell in it? You know, they can go to the store quite confidently and purchase the things, but it comes down to, you know, saying, hey, I might be afraid of using different tools in the kitchen, because for me, the kitchen might have been a place I avoided because of my anxiety. And so it's about meeting the folks where they're at and really breaking it down into the smallest possible piece for them to have success. And then you build off of that like a pyramid.
That's great. What stops people from making healthy choices?
I think quite often it's the cost possibility. A lot of folks don't always have the finances to be able to go and get some new fruit and discover, how do I eat it? Do I peel it? Do I cut it? Do I just eat it with the rind still on? And so that can definitely prevent some folks from making the healthy choices. It can be overwhelming too. They don't know how to read labels. There's just so many options at our grocery stores and farm markets that they don't know what to put with what.
That's why when they go to the grocery shopping, they just buy already made everything that
Right.
it is done for them already.
Right.
What would family learn about helping each other in the kitchen and eat together at the same table?
Oh, so much stuff. It brings you all together in the same room, and so many parents and family members oftentimes say, we don't get enough quality time. Well, if everybody's in the kitchen, and whether everybody's contributing to cooking or not, it gives them the opportunity to enjoy each other's company and to talk about each other's day. Especially for teens and younger kids and even college students, it gives you an opportunity to see the tempo of a meal being made. It doesn't just appear. We don't just do our homework, pop in the kitchen, get something and go. We need to slow down and let digestion happen. And digestion is also, you know, family time and communication.
That's great. Coming up, Dr. Norris and I are going to make a Persian-inspired, healthy, simple, nutritious summer cucumber soup. I'm back with Dr. Norris, and she's going to help me to make this Persian-inspired, refreshing, chilled cucumber soup to keep you healthy and cool during hot summer season. Wash and decontaminate 2 large cucumbers.
Well, so I see that they're peeled already, but why would we want to decontaminate them if we're going to be peeling them?
Actually, as we know, most of our produce comes from farm. And in farm, they get contaminated with animal feces, bacteria, dust, dirt, and everything that is going on in the farm. And if we don't decontaminate them, we would run those contamination inside the flesh of the cucumber or melon or anything that you are going to cut.
Right.
What we are going to do, this is 2 coarsely chopped cucumbers. And we add 2 to 3 cups of low-fat yogurt. and Robin is going to help me to blend them together. And 1 medium Vidalia onion. These are all chopped. Okay, you want to help me?
Absolutely. So, do not be scared of blenders, however, blend with caution.
Just turn them a little bit, and it's going to
Seems to be getting creamy and frothy.
exactly. It becomes creamy, and all the flavors is going to blend together. While you're doing that, I'm going to put a little bit of salt at the same time. And this is pepper. I usually mix black pepper, red pepper, and cayenne pepper.
Okay.
Cayenne pepper is really good for losing weight, for weight loss. It helps a lot. And also, this is dried dill. We can, you want me to help you?
Yes, please, because if I get through the center, oh, there you go.
See what happens? Oops! You see, this is what happens when we don't keep it very low. Okay. And I usually have a chopped walnuts here, and also raisins that we are going to add it later.
Okay.
And it's always good to chop the walnut first and then measure them.
Okay.
Because that way we know exactly how much walnut we're going to put it in there. But you know, if it is, sometimes we chop first and add them to the food, or sometimes we add them to the food.
Right.
We measure them full and then add them to the food. It's different that way, you know, because it's a measurements as different when we do it that way. I think it's got to start now. It's almost done. We need more dill. Do you want to add some dill to it?
Sure. So I just sprinkle it in?
Sprinkle it a little bit. I think we're done almost.
And now with the spices like the dill, do you just do it to taste, or do you just do it because you've cooked it over time and you just kind of know?
It's for the taste and for the health benefits. And they all have that one. Yogurt is good for us.
Yeah, what are the health benefits of yogurt? You know, what are the side effects of yogurt? Because we hear so often about dairy. And...
Oops.
Oops.
This is what happens. Let me add it real quick. Yogurt, in the first session, we talked about protein, carbohydrate, and fat to be in food.
Right.
We have to have those. Yogurt has all, protein, carbohydrate, and fat. Also, it has calcium, which is really good for our bones and for our teeth. And also, it has probiotics.
Okay.
And probiotics are bacteria that it is good for our system. And they have it's called that they have a symbiotic relationship with human.
Right.
What it means that we help them to survive, and they help us to survive. And when they have we have these bacteria in our body, it helps us to digest our food better.
Right.
And they are under control with our immune system. Immune system doesn't let them grow out of hand. But the side effect of it is basically for people with immune deficiency. People, they have AIDS, or people, they have, they go through chemotherapy, that their immune system is very low. So this bacteria grows out of hand.
Right.
And that's why that is the side effect. But normally, for people that they have a good immune system, it's really beneficial.
Right.
I think it's already done. Let us.
Yeah, we definitely want to keep those microbes in our guts happy, because it definitely affects how we think and how we act and how we do all sorts of
Exactly.
things. So.
It's really healthy to have those
the microbiome be balanced.
Exactly. Because if we don't have them, it's we're not going to digest our food properly.
Right.
But those are they have to be. They have to be inside our stomach only, because they're not supposed to be in any other part of our body. We can put this on the side because we're done with this. We're going to put this one in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes to cool down and freeze and get cold. Now our soup is ready. Now we're going to go to the refrigerator and get our soup. You can chill it up to a day or so, 10 minutes is minimum. Now to this one, we are going to add chopped walnut.
So earlier you mentioned chopping walnuts versus having chopped walnuts. What's the difference of the cup of chopped walnuts versus a cup of walnuts chopped? Bit of a tongue twister.
That's a good question, Robin. When we say chopped walnut, it means we chop them first, then we measure them. But when we say walnut chopped, it means we measure them first whole and then we chop them. The sizes would be different. You can, do you want to mix them up?
Sure. See, I've even noticed that in the grocery store, they come in chopped pieces, whole pieces, half pieces.
It depends to different recipe, you get different ones. And also here we have golden raisins. We add some golden raisins to the recipe too.
And then you also used the yogurt, and one of the things that I was wondering if you could talk more about is what are the health benefits of that and the role of calcium? Because when I think of yogurt, I think of calcium.
That's correct. Calcium is it helps our body to neutralize the acid in our stomach. When we eat food, it goes to our stomach. Stomach produces acid in order to break down the food. If we don't have enough calcium in our body pulls it from our bones and from our teeth. And that's why when we get older, we have brittle bones and bad teeth.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, we don't want that. So if we take 15 milligrams of calcium every day, which is going to be, you can get it from yogurt, cheese, from milk, combination of those or one of those, doesn't matter. As long as you can get them and you have enough calcium in your body, then we will be fine. But the most important is, in order for our body to absorb it, we need magnesium and vitamin D. That's why I added some walnut to this recipe. So because walnut has magnesium in addition to protein, it has magnesium too. Vitamin D, you can get it from anywhere. You can get it from sun, and it's really easy. Just walk in the sun or lay in the sun or take a sun bath for 15 minutes a day. It would give you the enough vitamin D you need. I think we need a little bit more blending for this. It has some. Okay, just let me have this.
Sure.
it got caught. Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
The other
It
thing
got-
about magnesium that sometimes people don't remember is it's one of the things that helps us to sleep.
Exactly.
So if you're somebody that's got some sleep issues, definitely be looking into your levels of magnesium.
That is great. That's a very good point. Magnesium is one of the things that we need for good sleep at night, and that's
Yep.
why they say, half a banana or banana is good at night.
Yeah.
If you take them, it looks much better now.
Yeah, it
got
definitely
some
feels
of the-
thicker.
Yes, it feels thicker because of the. It got a little bit colder.
Right,
too.
right.
It works. Yes.
Very much creamy.
Very much creamy. Yes.
Okay.
And at the end, we add a little bit dried mint to it, and then to look a little bit.
So how can people make, in your eyes, the different food choices?
The only thing is they don't have to be afraid. Sometimes I go to my kitchen and I don't know what I want to make. I open my refrigerator, I look at it, whatever it's in there, I try to create something out of what I have in there.
Right.
That is what it helps me to create all these different recipes. And also, people, it's the easiest way to do it. And I did it when I lost 95 pounds on my own. The first thing I did, I wrote everything I ate for a few days.
Right.
And then I looked at my eating habits, and I realized some of the food I don't even need to eat. I just eliminated those. And the other ones that I really felt I really needed and I want to eat them,
Right.
I try to find a healthier version of that food. And that is the easiest way. And the other way is to pay a lot of attention to what we eat. Like we might make sure to have protein, carbohydrates and fat in our
Right.
diet, so we don't crave all those foods in our daily diet. The other thing is to eat slowly.
Yeah.
And sit down and eat. A lot
Yeah.
of people say, I don't have time. That's why I eat over the counter.
Right.
If you have 5 minutes to eat over the counter, you have 5 minutes to sit down and eat.
Right.
And that gives you a little bit calmer feeling that you calm down and you eat more mindful of what you put in your mouth. And also, it's easier for you to digest that food too because you are sitting down
Right.
instead of you're on the run. And also pay attention to what you get. Look at the labels and learn how to read labels and ingredients, because some of the ingredients are not really good for you.
Right.
And
I
pay
always tell
attention
clients,
to
if you can't pronounce it, it's not a food.
that is
For the
that
most
is-
part.
That is true. That is
Yeah.
what I say to my clients too.
Yeah.
You need to be able to read what it
Right.
is in there.
Right.
For example, I take my clients to the grocery shopping to teach them how to properly grocery shop. And when they pick up a bread, it has this much ingredients, and it's really puzzles me.
Right.
Bread is only flour,
water,
water,
and air.
and air a little
Yeah,
bit. That's
yeah.
all should go into
Yeah.
the bread. Not this much ingredients that none of them is easy to pronounce. And also pay attention to portion size and make sure that we eat, moderately. Not
Right. Right. I know the big, large container of juice that you can get at the movie theaters is pretty much equates to about 16 ice pops. And so I always remind the kids, you wouldn't have 16 ice pops in one sitting, so don't get
Exactly.
the giant gulp at the movie theater either.
even popcorn's on its own too. It's a good thing to eat as a snack, but not giant one.
Right.
Anything we eat, we must eat in moderation, and that is what is important. Okay, now we're going to garnish it. We are going to garnish it. I like to make a happy face. What do you think, Robin?
I think that'd be awesome.
Really? Okay, let's make a Wow, that's a perfect round. Maybe with this is mint.
I know cooking with my kids, they always want to see it look like something extraordinary by the time it hits their plates.
To make it fun to eat, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay. So do you want to put the lips on?
Let's see if I can get the smile going here.
Yeah. Maybe we can make it with the finger. Huh? Oh, kind of. It works. Smiley face, huh? Yeah, okay. I can use the...
That's so cute.
It's more like a clown than a smiley face.
I think that's perfect. So I just wanted to say thank you for this opportunity, and you know, anybody can cook. You just have to kind of get over your fear of it a little bit. You have to just build up your confidence, be okay to make some messes, and just try
like
to
you did.
yes, exactly, and just try to you know, make small changes. Little incremental changes actually can add to like a more of a snowball effect. And so you know, just try to do this one bite at a time.
That is you know, easy to make, and I started my show with simple recipes for people to make it easier for them to learn how to cooking is easy, and then we're going to go to complicated one little bit later. But in the beginning, when they start cooking and doing things, it's much more easier for them. Maintaining our health is very easy. We just have to make smarter and healthier food choices. Healthy eating is all about balanced diet, eating protein, carbohydrates, fats, and fibers in our daily food. One of the easiest way to make healthy food choices are planning ahead of time, because that way we don't get to a starvation point and we make better healthy food choices. There is no need to make a drastic change in your diet. You can always eat the meals you love by converting them into the healthier version without compromising the taste. It's important to take a good care of yourself. Make healthy food choices to avoid and to recover from sicknesses or illnesses. You don't have to be sick to eat well. You can eat well all the time. Thank you all for taking a trip to Persia with us, with me and Dr. Robin today. And remember, there is no better time than right now to start living healthy.